Hey, welcome to Rick's Retirement Journey. It is the 9th of April at approximately 5:08 p.m. Great day today. I was actually supposed to go into the bookstore at 6 a.m. and work until noon, but they changed the schedule from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the afternoon because the truck that was bringing in our shipment of books and supplies was late, but it was okay. I put away a cart of books with some fiction, romance, and some science fiction while jamming to some pretty good music. And then once that was over, I went back to the back of the store and we had these plastic totes that were just full of books and other items. So we just kind of dove right into those and started loading up the carts and separating things out. And it was a pretty productive day. I had some great, awesome team associates to work with, and just had a great day. But that's a Thursday. So yesterday, I went to another book sale. I've done this in the past before, and I'm going to try to keep this one a little bit quicker. To the local library, they have a book sale at least once a month, and I like to stop by and pick up my $3 bag of books. So, without further ado, I want to go and show you what I picked up yesterday. Starting off with Once a Marine, Always a Marine. I Am a Retired Marine by Ben Finney. Great book. I've already started reading it, so that's how interested I am when I picked it up. Next one is called Warning of War. It's by James Brady, and it's a novel of the North China Marines. So if you didn't know that the Marines served in China, yes, they did. Primarily during the Boxer Rebellion. Look it up. Kind of keeping in the same thing, I picked up Truman. Where's that? And it's a really thick book, written by David McCullough. So knowing that he's a very good author, I went ahead and picked it up. This is a book that would normally cost you probably about a lot of money. So I was able to pick it up as part of my haul from yesterday. What else did I get? Yes. Secret Agent, The True Story of the Covert War Against Hitler, written by David Stafford, who's also wrote a book about Roosevelt and Churchill, Men of Secrets. So this looks like a very, very interesting book that I'm looking forward to reading. The next book that I picked up was written by John Pena Craven. He was a former chief scientist, U.S. Navy Special Projects Office. The book is called The Cold War Battle Beneath the Sea, The Silent War, Submarines. I really haven't read a whole heck of a lot of book about submarines, but the cover just in itself kind of piqued my interest, and I think I thought I would pick it up and just see what it's all about. The next one by Stephen B. Oates. It's called The Epic Saga of the Civil War, told from the viewpoints of 11 principal players in the drama. The book is called The Whirlwind of War, Voices of the Storm, 1861 to 1865, written by Stephen B. Oates. This one right here, another thick book, looks very, very interesting. Let me get that reflection out of there. There we go. Looks very, very interesting. And since I do like history, and I'm always trying to learn more and more about different aspects of history and how it affected, the United States, not only during that era, but also for, the future generations, I thought I would pick this one up and find out what it was all about as well. So, Daniel Boone was a man. He was a big man. Written by John S. C. Abbott, Daniel Boone, the pioneer of Kentucky. So, we've all heard of different things about Daniel Boone this, Daniel Boone that. Was he the one with the coonskin hat, or was that Davy Crockett? I keep on forgetting. But I thought I'd pick this one up since it has a little bit to do with American history. I love American history. Let's go with another one. On Seas of Glory, Heroic Men, Great Ships, and Epic Battles of the American Navy, written by the former Secretary of the Navy, John Layman. I think John Lehman was Secretary of the Navy when I was serving on active duty way back when. But so I'm kind of looking forward to this one. He talks about on the Seas of Old Glory, the U.S. Navy meets a storyteller worthy of its noble history. Former Secretary of the Navy John Lehman gives a sweeping narrative of the service's illustrious past, from the Revolutionary War to the present day, filled with the ships that dominated the seas, equally titanic personalities, and the battles that made history. So, yes, I'm looking forward to reading this one too. The next book is called Never Call Retreat, Lee and Grant, The Final Victory. It's a novel of the Civil War written by Newt Gingrich and William R. Forstchen, Forstchen. Great cover, and something else about American history, the Civil War. Yep, Never Call Retreat. If you haven't read it yet, I haven't read it yet either. So, excuse me. Oh, I think that was the first time I ever sneezed on air. Well, not only staying with U.S. history and U.S. military and things like that, but we also have to consider, who else we have worked with or served with or fought with that may have influenced some of the things that we have done inside the United States. This is An Informal Study of Greatness. This is a book written by Robert Louis Taylor. It's about Winston Churchill. So you're saying, Rick, why do you want to read a book about Winston Churchill? I just explained it to you. You always hear a lot of things about Winston Churchill this, Winston Churchill that, and then on the very, very, he's the one who kind of gave the motivating speech and kind of motivated the people just to keep on going and knowing that victory would be theirs. And it was. Now I'm going to break into something a little bit different, still with a military genre, but this one's called Red Rabbit, Tom Clancy. I've read a couple of Tom Clancy books. Tom Clancy is a prolific writer. If you have not, check it out. Another Tom Clancy book I got, it's called Chain of Command. I guess he wrote this. It's a Jack Ryan novel. So it looks pretty good right there. It says a Jack Ryan novel, Chain of Command by Mark Cameron. I wonder how that works right there. Praise for Mark Cameron and the Jack Ryan series. So it looks as if maybe that Mark Cameron worked with Tom Clancy in writing this one right here. But also another one I look forward to reading. Something that I saw a couple of books on the shelves, and there was a lot less of a selection this time around than there normally is. But I went in there and I got a bag of books. You can always find something interesting besides cookbooks, children's books, romance novels, etc., etc. Not that I'm being fickle, not that I'm being so closed-minded, but in our age, you like what you like. And this is some of those books, some of those topics and authors is what I like. So, but a couple of books that I picked up. This is by Joseph DeRoche. It's a 6th edition of Introduction to Poetry. I started paging through this last night while I was wrapping up my dinner, and the whole first section talks about poetry, about metaphors and similes and actual symbolic free verse scanning and scattion and all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to find this pretty interesting to kind of go through, and you never know, you may hear me recite some poetry here on YouTube. Would that be interesting? Yes, no? Leave a comment if you'd like for me to read some poetry. Last but not least, I think I may have mentioned many times before that I am a docent or a tour guide over at the National Museum of the Marine Corps, and I haven't been there in a while. I did take some family members over there to kind of view some of the displays and things like that. They had a great time, and I really loved being back there. But This book I picked up is also another college book. It's by the Academy of Art University. It was founded in San Francisco in 1929 by artist for artist. The name of this book is called Narrative Storytelling. Narrative Storytelling. And I figured I'd kind of pick this up. Just the title in and of itself kind of intrigued me a little bit, because when you give tours and things like that, you're basically telling a story. You're narrating a story of past history, just like Indian chiefs and Indian tribesmen and women that passed on stories down through the generations. Well, that's basically what I do when I am over at the National Museum of the Marine Corps. I'm narrating. I'm telling them a story. So I figured I would pick up that book as well. If I look a little tired, it's because I am tired. And if I sound a little tired, it's because I talked to a lot of people today. But other than that, I have no complaints. I just got finished watching Buzz's impromptu Thursday afternoon out in the backyard, watching the fire, playing with the cats, and talking about his yard projects. YouTube live. Pretty interesting. Cool stuff. And later on, once I change clothes and get out of my BAM uniform, Books A Million uniform, just go ahead and just grab something and kick back and maybe watch a little bit of Steve's Retirement Corner, or some of the other multitude of YouTube people that I follow. But if you like what you've seen, please comment, share, subscribe. Comment, share, subscribe, and whatever the other one is. I keep on forgetting all the time. It's a beautiful day here in Virginia. The sun is out. There's a slight breeze outside. The air is cool, but it feels really good. I did not want to do any yard work today. If you didn't see the yard work that I did, check out my video that I did yesterday. And tomorrow I plan to do a little bit more yard work. I got this 15 item list of yard stuff that I want to get done before the late spring, early summer really cranks on in here. And just looking at that, if I were to start like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I work until 4:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the afternoon, I could probably get it all done. But at the same time, I'm also retired. I'm also in my 60s. I'm not going to tell you exactly how old I am, but that just trying to do everything at one time would probably kill me, and then I would be dead, and my wife would have a nice yard. I don't think she would appreciate that. So I'll probably just do maybe 2, maybe 3 of the smaller things tomorrow, just to kind of keep the process going. Check, get it out of there, do some more reading, do some more writing, and just go on from there. But hey, once again, life is great. Retirement is great. I am just having the time of my life. And for those that are not retired, start planning now to do nothing and everything that you've ever wanted to do. So until next time, and have a great evening. Rick out.